time out here, come back, I'll get all three of them at one time.
Well, two is not bad.
Terry Newsom is standing by right now to talk to a gentleman about something very exciting on the 700 Club, and you're not going to miss that while I do a little English on this, little Russian on this cue there.
There you go.
And here's Terry.
You're a natural, Ben.
Hi, I'm Leslie Ingram, and this is 3 Seasons Fun and Safety, and we're at the East End Belleville Plaza. And today we've got a pool shark, and I bet most of you have seen a lot of TV programs where you see pool sharks, Minnesota Fats and such. Now we've got one in our midst who's originally from Belleville, Bruce Christopher, and he's touring, what, Canada, old Canada?
Well, we're touring in Oshawa, Ontario, and Toronto, Belleville, Ontario.
And you're sort of promoting your game and promoting yourself.
Pool, right?
American pool.
Greatest toy that's ever been invented.
And you've been put in the Guinness Book of Records for, was it 5,000?
5,688 balls without missing. That was on a bad day.
Yeah, and to think of it, you're from Belleville. I can't believe it.
From Belleville, yeah. And this is my brother and his wife, Wayne and Audrey Christopher. They were both from Belleville and went to school together at Belleville Collegiate Institute Vocational School. Mm-hmm. And here we are. The whole family's here, and it's strange to be here, Leslie.
Oh, I know it.
Every time I look around and see people, I see their faces, and like last night, I saw a friend like Bob Boyle and Bobby Hanna and some other friends I went to school with and grew up with, and it's very moving. It's a delightful
opportunity. How long have you been
here.
Away from Belleville? Now, you've traveled all around through the States and Canada.
Traveled all over the world playing pool.
So how long have you been away from Belleville?
Well, I've been away really around 17, 18, 19 years. I've been back and forth a couple of times, but I've never really been here.
Yeah, so it's changed since you've been away quite a bit.
It's a lot. It's a beautiful city now. I'd like to come back here and live. Yeah. Get a little house down by the Bay of Plenty.
Listen, with the winnings you've got, you can afford it.
Well, listen, pool's a great sport, and it's going to be very popular, more popular now in the 80s. Since the exposure, of course, with Minnesota Fats and William Moscone and Steve Meserak doing the Miller Lite commercial, and some of these other younger breed of pool players have risen now. See, when I was a boy, played here in the pool with my brother Wayne at Lafferty's, which is now, I think it's Dinko's here. It used to be like an institution. Everybody in the world around this area here would go down to Lafferty's and play pool. But it had a bad image. Now that image has been dissipated and dissolved. Just to make a long story short here, is because now the homes are sold directly, the tables are sold directly into the homes now. 93% of all pool tables go directly into the homes now. The richest people in the world have pool tables, people from all walks of life. They use the pool table as a means of relaxation, exercise, bending, stretching, squatting, and it's the cheapest form of entertainment.
See, the only pool I've played is in a friend's basement, and I'm not very familiar with it. And I usually get a lot of coaching, and they're always afraid that I'm going to rip up their green, the
green
velvet.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen that happen all the years I've played pool.
But it is a lot of fun. And then there's there's pool. And what's the difference between pool, snooker, and billiards?
Snooker is on 6 feet by 12 tables. That's basically what they play throughout Ontario and Canada. It's the large table and the small balls. That's great, but what it does is it discourages the families from participating. This is the pool table, which is a 4 feet by 8 feet model or 4.5 feet by 9 feet model. And it's larger balls, 2 1/4 inch. So therefore, you're allowing everyone equal footing to participate and play. And it ranks now somewhere between 4th and 7th most participated sport in the world. If you were to put 10 top professional athletes in a room and you had all their sports extravaganza with them, they would all want to play pool. Recently, I was just with Jimmy Connors and Beyond Board down in Richmond, Virginia, and we went out and played pool. You know, I've been with Muhammad Ali, boxing, and Larry Holmes. They all like to play pool because when you play pool, you get your mind off yourself. There's no way you can play pool and not relax your body and your mind. And it's a family participating sport.
Well, it is exciting, especially if you play in teams as well, you know, just for fun, you know, and recreation. But I don't know, playing against someone like you maybe wouldn't be so much fun.
Well, it makes them a little nervous. But they like to play a seasoned player, a world-class player, somebody that knows the sport. It's like if I was to play a professional athlete, say like Jack Nicklaus from golf, and you pick up their winning secrets. And basically that's what's happening here. The other evening, just to show you how things, my brother and I were at the Palace in, in Oshawa, Ontario, and he had his 3 sons with him, Ronald, Paul, and Bruce, and the family was there. And I thought, boy, now there is a picture of family relaxation and fun, right? Nobody was going out, wasn't going bar hopping or all the other things, unnecessary things that get happen, which pulls the families apart. Here we were having an evening of pool and fun. It's the greatest toy that's ever been invented. We're going to play it. I hear you play a great game of pool.
Who told you that?
Oh, the word is out. Some little birdie told me.
That cameraman
someone going around
lies.
with a button saying, I love Belleville.
Oh, okay. What's the difference now? What's the, over in England right now is it Cliff Thorburn?
Cliff Thorburn is from Toronto, Ontario area.
Yeah, and he's Canadian.
Yes.
And he's one of the tops, isn't he? In snooker? That's
one of the
snooker, not pool, right?
In snooker.
So that's a different, like a different size table, like you say. And would you play against someone like him, or you're a different tournament, or?
No, you could compete in that. In many of the tournaments they're having now, they're bringing in snooker tables, billiard tables, which are 5 feet by 10 table without any pockets in them, and then pool tables. And they're participating and playing in this in order to get like an international championship. In fact, they're thinking of raising an international team and taking it to the Olympics. I don't think if there'll be a situation to do it. But I played Cliff Thorburn several years ago. In '76, we were up to the CNE. We had an exhibition up there, and I had a chance to meet Alex Higgins, the tremendous European English snooker player who pockets balls faster than anyone ever seen. And I met Cliff Thorburn and some of the other top champions. But it's every professional athlete cannot win all the time. And that's the nice thing about this game, is I don't have to win at this game. Have you noticed, like with the crowds here, hundreds of people participating, I don't have to win. Pool sells itself. And I never understood as a boy, and the thought kept going through my mind in the Lafferty's, why does it have a bad image? Why it had a bad connotation to it? Why didn't it have some respectability? And that thought kept working in my brain, you know, that maybe there would be a way to bring some respectability and image change to it. And it's happening.
Well, okay. How did you get started, though? I mean, like, as far as winning money, like, how did you get started in the bets? I think that's probably where you think of. You know, criminals or something, being in on it, I suppose, you know.
You could bet on anything. You could bet on.
But is that how you started, like in Belleville betting, or did you go somewhere else and
really
started?
Went with my brother over to Lafferty's, and they played a quarter game, right, Wayne? Right.
And then it got to $5, and they say, "Hey."
Yeah, well, you know, it's a competition. See, the other thing about pool is you have like 2 boxers competing, and there's always now when you play these shorter games like 8-ball and 9-ball, and that's why the element of gambling and so on comes into it. But you can't stop people gambling, but they don't have to gamble. Now there's such a good way of making a living at it now, and a respectable vacation. Of course, television has opened up so many markets.
I understand, well, I think it's this Cliff, I'm not sure, has opened up a big swanky place in Toronto.
I heard about it. I was invited up there,
Yeah, and they play a lot of snooker, I guess.
But they have pool tables there also. They have a health club.
Are women allowed to go to that, or is it just male?
I couldn't answer that for you.
Do a lot of women go into this?
A lot of private clubs that I belong to in the States and different parts of the world have membership open to men and women. As I mentioned before to the crowds here today, that there's 60 top professional ladies players in the United States alone that make from $50,000 to $200,000 a year. And they have membership. I'm a member of the Professional Pool Players Association, which we organized in 1976, which has in their World Open Poker Billiard Championship, which is held every year in the Roosevelt Hotel, they have 60 lady players competing, and then they have 120 men, professional men competing.
How come, well, I was wondering, why did you go on to become a professional player and say someone like you, decided to stay back?
Well, I enjoyed pool, but not as much to get into it, you know, for a livelihood. I always had my mind on General Motors, and that's where I went to work, and I'm enjoying it up there. I've been there 19 years. So that's my living, and that's where I want to be.